Hello you guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sitting down and doing a chit chat get ready with me, which let me tell you, I have not done in so long. So I will be answering all of your pregnancy related questions as it relates to my first trimester. I posted a Q&A box on my Instagram and you guys had so many questions, which makes me so freaking excited. So I'm answering all of those questions in today's video, all while doing my makeup. Now I will have all products that I use in today's video listed down below in the description. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys check that out. For the most part, I use this palette on my eyes today. This is the Primrose palette by ABH. You guys, this palette is stunning, breathtaking, everything and more, but you'll see that in today's video. Do I have anything else to say? I do not think so. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm running out of breath, but that's a part of pregnancy. And that's why I haven't really been sitting down and filming these long form videos because girl, I lose my breath so quickly, but hopefully you guys don't mind. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like it, subscribe, all of that jazz, and let's get into the Q&A. Now today's video is definitely going to be a little different, mainly because I don't want it to be like my typical sit down makeup tutorial. I definitely want it to be more of a chit chat get ready with me. So while I will be doing my makeup, I'm not going to run through each and every single product I'm using. I may mention it, but I'm not going to get into too much detail. If something's good, I'll let you know if something's good. But for the most part, I will have everything listed down below. Now for my eyes, I will be using the Primrose palette by Nausea. I played with this a little bit. It is really nice, and I'm just gonna go for something simple today, so let's get it going. I guess one of the main questions that I got on my initial pregnancy announcement video was, were we trying? And to answer that question, we were not trying. We always knew that when we bought our house and we were gonna try to start our little family here, but we had no idea that it was gonna happen so soon because, as you guys know, we bought this house back in August last year, and we didn't officially move into this house until around February, and then I got pregnant in May. So my first trimester started from May 17th and it ended around August the 9th, give or take. These are just rough estimates. So yeah, we had no idea I was pregnant. He had no idea. I had no idea up until I started getting like really tired. My boobs were really tender. I was taking naps throughout the day, which was so unlike me because if anyone knows me, it's really hard for me to sit still. I am constantly on the go. I want to work all the time. I constantly have things on my to-do list. So the fact that I was just napping was a little alarming to me. Now, another thing that was like really alarming to me before I knew I was pregnant was that I was really relying on coffee, like espresso shots and energy drinks to get me throughout my day. Like, don't get me wrong, like pre-pregnancy, on an average day, I would probably have like 2 cups of coffee, which I know is not ideal, but that was just like my standard. That was my go-to. But I was having way more than that. And I was also drinking like Red Bulls, Alani Nu energy drinks, and a lot of Celsius. So I'll definitely say that was like a really big red flag for me. So I pushed myself to go to Walgreens, pick up that pregnancy test, and well, you look at me now, I'm pregnant. What? Still really crazy and wild to say out loud because I never thought we would see this day. Not that I couldn't get pregnant. Again, we were not trying at all. It kind of just happened, but I don't know. I guess it's one of those things that you always dream about and you think about, and then when it finally happens, you're just like, how could the one thing I've always wanted for my whole entire life cause so much fear and anxiety? Because I will definitely say my initial reaction was I was crying, I was happy, but I was also so incredibly scared because the moment I said out loud that I'm gonna be a mom, like something flipped in my mind and I was just like, holy shit, like I'm gonna be a whole ass mom. And that's so crazy because you go from living your life as a single person with your partner every single day to knowing that you're gonna have this human and this child to take care of for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? So that was definitely very eye-opening to me, and it was very scary. And I thought really long and hard about whether or not I was even going to tell you guys that I was fearful when I first found out, but I was like, the hell with it. I feel like fear is very normal. Like when you first find out you're going to be a mom or a parent, you're scared, you're fearful because it's something so completely new that you've never done before. So while you are experiencing like a whirlwind of emotions and happiness and all of that, like fear is okay. It's normal. It's okay to feel those feelings. So it's something I had to feel myself through before I was actually able to tell Ulysses, which is why it took about 2 weeks for me to tell him. This Primrose palette is so pretty. Now I did use this like last week, but I did not prime my eyelids with an actual eyeshadow primer. I used a little bit of my foundation and concealer and it creased so much. So I'm really curious to see how this wears throughout the day, but the colors are really, really pretty. You can see I'm kind of struggling in this area. I'm not like blowing it out like I usually would because it's getting a little watery. So I'm trying not to like mess with that area too much. So now that my first initial thoughts are out of the way, I definitely want to start answering some of your questions that you guys actually asked me over on Instagram. One of which was, what were your first obvious signs of pregnancy? I feel like I kind of already answered that, and it was just that I was feeling really tired. I found myself doing things that I usually wouldn't do, like napping and then the whole energy drink thing. So that was definitely like the first obvious signs of pregnancy. Not that I didn't drink energy drinks or like a lot of coffee before, it was just like a little more excessive than usual. So the next question I have is, did you have nausea and what did you do to calm / get rid of the nausea? Now let me tell you, my entire first trimester, even in my second trimester, was filled with nausea. And it's funny because the night I told Ulysses, he was like, well, one, you can't be pregnant because I haven't seen you throw up. And in my mind, I'm just like, shut the fuck, shut. No! Why would you wish that upon me? About a week later, and this was maybe around like my 6th or 7th week of pregnancy, I started throwing up more than 10 times a day, and it was honestly so debilitating. It was very traumatizing, and I started to get very, very worried because I was throwing up so much that I couldn't really keep fluids down, foods down, anything like that. And it was just very, very hard for me to cope throughout my day. So I expressed that to my doctor. He was like, look, if you're throwing up that many times a day, like that's not what we want. So he did prescribe me with some anti-nausea medication. I'm not telling you guys to get on the medication if you're experiencing that. It's just what was prescribed to me to help me get through my first trimester. And even in my second trimester, and I'm going into my third, and I'm still on the medication because without it, I kid you not, I throw up more than 10 times a day. Now, I'm really not trying to scare any of you who are looking to get pregnant or anything like that. I just want you guys to be aware. I feel like if you get anything from the content that I'm going to be uploading, is that this is my real raw experience. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Pregnancy is a beautiful thing and not all women get to experience it. So I do realize that I am very blessed in that way. But going through all the nausea and the sickness and not even being able to drink a glass of water was very hard for me. So I am very grateful that my doctor was able to put me on a medication and keep me on a medication this long, because it's not something that he really likes for his patients to be on for a long period of time, but it's just something that I had to be on. I'm taking one nausea medication at night before I go to sleep, just so that way when I wake up, my stomach is calm, I'm able to eat something, and I'm able to function all throughout the day. It's funny because in my first trimester, the thought of sitting down and filming a YouTube video, girl, it was so hard. And I'm very surprised that you guys did not clock me sooner than my announcement, because I really wasn't filming. And when I did film, I felt like I just looked so out of it and I looked so sick, but surprisingly, none of you guys really clocked me, which is nice. So the second part to that question was, what did I do to calm the nausea? I told you guys that I was on medication, but I actually was not able to actually get the medication cleared through my insurance until I was like 13 weeks. So for like 6 weeks straight, I really just had to deal with the nausea the best way I can. And I did a lot of research. So I started taking ginger chews, and that was really helping me a ton until I got used to the ginger chews. And then when I started taking them, they started making me very nauseous and sick. So I couldn't do the ginger chews anymore. I switched over to things that were really sour. So I did a lot of lemonade, specifically Chick-fil-A lemonade, because it's so good. I was also doing like sour candies. So I would get like these sugar-free sour candies from like Sprouts. You can also find them in other grocery stores, but I'll have them right here if you guys are interested in those. Those were pretty decent. But one thing I will say about pregnancy is that you only enjoy things for a certain period of time. Well, I can only speak for myself. I only enjoyed certain things for a period of time, but then when I got used to them, I was on to something else. So once I got tired of the lemonade, I couldn't even hack it anymore. I couldn't even drink lemonade. I switched over to sour candy, and after sour candy, I was like, okay, I want something hot. So I did like flaming hot Cheetos for a little bit, but on the days where I did have the hot Cheetos and then I did happen to throw up, it was probably one of the worst experiences of my life. So I haven't touched a hot Cheetos since. What else did I do during the first trimester? One thing you'll hear a lot of people tell you during your first trimester is to have a lot of saltine crackers, just things that are bland in general. And I definitely found that to be the case for me. I bought a lot of saltine crackers, and I ate a lot of them as well, especially during like my first trimester. I had some soups here and there, but I really just did not have an appetite. Things that I was really reaching for were things that were like really cold, like smoothies, fruit. I was obsessed with fruit. Like, I don't know what came over me, but I remember going to the grocery store very vividly and loading up my entire cart with just nothing but fruit. And I told Ulysses that day, like, yeah, I went to the grocery store. He came home and the whole fridge was just fruit. And he's like, what did you buy? Like, what did you spend money on? Because I see no real food here. The only thing I see is fruit. And that's because that's exactly what I wanted in that moment. So I ate a lot of fruit. So another thing I really did during the first trimester and even through my second trimester was chew a lot of gum, because I don't know if it was just me, but I always had like a really bad taste in my mouth. I would brush my teeth, I kid you not, like 6, 7, 8 times a day. Like, I didn't even have to eat anything and I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth. Because like my own saliva tasted bad to me. Also my mouth would get like really, really watery. So I started chewing a lot of gum. I really like this one. This is the Mentos gum. This is the Pure Fresh. It has like the little peppermint on the inside. So I kid you not, I would chew gum from like the moment I woke up to right before I went to sleep. And I still do it till this day. Like, every single area of my house has a container of gum. My bedroom, my bathroom, my office, my filming room. I have some in my car, Ulysses' car. Like, I have gum everywhere because really it was the only thing getting me through my days. For foundation, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna use the Tight Idol Ultra Aware Foundation by Lancome. I love this. You guys know I did a full-blown campaign with them. I do find that it does oxidize, so just be aware of that when you are picking your shade. I am in the shade 230 Buff W, and this is like such a great shade for me personally. So another question I have here from one of you is, I know how hard the first trimester can be. Can you highlight some of the positives? Now, I really don't mean to be a negative Nancy when it comes to the first trimester, but I am being honest with you guys. The first trimester is so incredibly hard, and even through the second trimester, if you're one of the lucky ones, the nausea will stop after like 13 weeks, but unfortunately, that wasn't the case for me personally. If I have to think about one of the positives and the upsides to the first trimester, is just knowing that you're bringing life into this world, that you're growing a human inside of you, whether it be a boy, whether it be a girl. That is such a pleasant experience. Like, don't get me wrong, it'll take you through a whirlwind of emotions, but most of it is positive. So I try to look past all of my sickness and how bad I felt, and I really started to look at the big picture, that I'm growing life inside of me, and within 9 months I will have a little baby human to take care of for the rest of my life. So that is very motivating. So the next question I have on here is, did I have any cravings? Now, it's really hard for me to say whether or not I had any cravings because I was so incredibly sick. I guess if I had to say I had one craving, it would be half water, half lemonade from Chick-fil-A, because it's one of the only things that I could stomach, and it really just helped me forget about my nausea. So I had a lot of lemonade during my first trimester. Ooh, another one would be soup. So I had a lot of soups. If I had anything to eat, it was soup. And I remember Ulysses getting so frustrated with me because he's like, dude, all you want to eat is soup. And I know how hard that can be as someone's partner when they want to eat the same thing every single day, because like, the average person would just get sick of it. But when you're so sick and you know that you can eat something without getting sick, you tend to stick to the same thing. So I remember wanting to eat soup every single day. And Ulysses was just like, dude, I can't eat soup anymore. I wouldn't say soup was a craving though. I just feel like it was like a safe food for me. Kind of like, okay, I know I can eat this without getting sick, so I'm just gonna keep eating the same thing. And that for me was Panera Bread's broccoli and cheddar soup with their bread on the side. It helped me get food in my stomach without making me vomit. So one of the next questions I have on here is, did I have any food aversions? I definitely had some food aversions. The biggest one being meats. I couldn't have like chicken, I couldn't have beef, I couldn't have really any meats at all whatsoever without feeling like disgusting. I don't know what it was during my first trimester. I really just could not stomach it. Luckily now I'm able to actually have like real food, because I don't know what I was eating before. I was not eating like really any protein, and that was like really scary for me because I was like, okay, like what am I really eating like every single day? I'm not really eating anything that has like protein in it. So first trimester, could not eat meats. I used to love going to like Chipotle and Chick-fil-A. Nope, couldn't have any of that. Couldn't even have like a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich because it just tasted so weird to me in the moment. So the next question on here is, how is Ulysses adjusting to your new pregnancy hormones? I will say that he's actually adjusting really well. In the beginning, I felt like he was just so sick of me, but that was just me in my head. I remember waking up like every single day and I'm like, do you hate me? Am I boring? Because like I didn't want to go anywhere. And before, we'd be the types like always want to do things together. Like, oh, let's just walk around Target. He'd be like, let's walk around Target. And I would like literally have a panic attack. I'm like, I am not walking through Target. Are you crazy? I could literally throw up on anyone in any given second. So he's definitely adjusting really well. I feel like now more than ever. Whoa. Y'all saw that fly? I know you saw the fly. As I was saying, I feel like now more than ever, he definitely understands like what I'm going through and what I'm feeling. And he can always tell when I have like a flare up coming on, like when I'm starting to feel bad, because he'll be like, oh, let me just like leave her alone, let her do her thing. So he's been really supportive in that sense. I remember in the beginning, like I couldn't even bear to be next to him when he would eat, because he'd be like a night eater. So I would like literally look over and he would have like a full plate of food, and I'm just like, can you just like not eat that next to me? And in the beginning he was just like, what the fuck? But now I feel like he kind of gets it. So instead of him coming upstairs with his food, he'll like eat it downstairs, just so that way it won't make me nauseous before I go to bed. The next question I have on here is, are you still working out? If not, how are you maintaining your weight during pregnancy? Long story short, I'm not working out. I'm not maintaining my weight during pregnancy. I want to say so far I've gained 11 to 15 pounds, and I'm entering my third trimester. Some people say that's a lot. Some people say that's really good. For me, I'm not too concerned. I feel like I'm in a certain season of my life, and right now gaining weight is a part of that. Like I'm growing a whole human. I'm growing life. In the beginning, it was really hard for me to accept all of that, because I feel like for so long I've always watched what I ate, I've always worked out, and I was really, really big into working out prior to getting pregnant. So that was definitely something that took a lot of getting used to, like watching my body change and stuff like that. And I know you can still work out while you are pregnant, and I had every intention on doing so, but with how sick I have been feeling throughout my first, second, and even third trimester, it's just like not really something I want to do. So I've cut out working out. I'm hoping I can jump back into it after I give birth, once I'm cleared by my doctor. But yeah, unfortunately I'm not working out right now. All right, and one of the last questions on here is, why did I wait so long to tell you guys that I was expecting? I want to say I waited a little over 5 months to announce my pregnancy, and it was for no other reason other than I just wanted to keep it between me and my family. In the moment, there's so many different things that could happen during your pregnancy and during your first trimester. So I didn't want to talk about it too soon and jinx anything. Plus, I just wanted to enjoy it for myself for a little while longer. When you're pregnant and you're on social media and you're sharing yourself online, you'll know what I'm talking about. It just feels really nice to keep something so incredibly special to yourself for a little while longer. So that's why I waited so long to tell you, but I am so glad the news is finally out. I'm so glad I can sit down and just talk to you guys about like my first trimester and what I was experiencing and things like that. Because I will say, during your first trimester, it's really lonely because usually you don't tell many people that you're pregnant during your first trimester just for those safety reasons, and it can be lonely. I will definitely say, now that the news is out, I'm a lot happier. I can't tell you how good it feels to finally sit down and just talk to you guys about me being pregnant and everything that I'm going through. I feel like I was keeping so much a secret that it was getting hard for me to show up online. It was getting hard for me to post. It was getting hard for me to film these videos because you guys didn't know. So now that it's all out in the open and we can finally just chit chat, it does feel really nice and really good. I'm just gonna finish off with my lip color. I'm using the LA Girl Ultimate Intense Stay Auto Lip Liner in the shade Nonstop Nude. I am gonna be going for more of like a pinky nude today. So this is gonna work great. Then I'm just gonna go in with the lip color by Makeup by Mario in the shade Sam. And my lips are so crusty, but like I'm too lazy to exfoliate them. Oh, this look is so cute and romantic. Everything I'm not. Now that we're done with the makeup, I do want to quickly just briefly talk about some of the essentials, one of which is a prenatal vitamin. For me personally, once the morning sickness started to kick in, I couldn't really take an actual prenatal vitamin, so I did use gummies for my entire first trimester and even into my second trimester. Once my stomach could handle it, I did switch to a pill form from Ritual. Another thing, speaking of pills, that I highly, highly, highly recommend is getting some kind of pill organizer. I do have this one right here, and as you can see, I've been missing a couple of days, but it pretty much has Sunday through Saturday. I put all of my pills in there for the week, so that way, let's say today's Monday, when Monday rolls around, I pop it open, I take all the pills in here, and then I know that I took all my pills for that day. When I had a bunch of bottles laying around, I found that I was skipping my prenatals, I was skipping my iron, I wasn't taking vitamin D, I was just missing a bunch of things. So I find this to be very, very, very helpful. I did get this on Amazon, and I will have it listed down below if you guys are interested in checking it out. So another thing I switched over to in my first trimester is comfortable bras without a wire, because my boobs were just so big and like swollen during the first trimester that wearing wired bras just really hurt me, and I was like getting a rash, so I had to switch off of them very, very quickly. And I did end up getting these ones right here. These are by the brand Hanes. You can get them at Walmart, you can get them at Target. I'll see if I can find them on Amazon, but these have been a lifesaver. This here is a size medium. If you look closely, they don't have any adjustable straps, so I did size down just so that way I can get more of a lift when I do decide to wear it. But these are so comfortable. I have them in white, beige, and black, and I have like maybe 8 to 10 pairs. Very, very comfortable and just an essential for me during my first trimester. Even now, I haven't switched back to wired bras because it's just like not comfortable with my belly, so get you some wireless bras. So let's talk stretch marks really quickly. I heard it comes down to genetics. I hear if you're scratching too much, you'll get stretch marks. I also heard if your belly's dry and not moisturized. I heard it all. But for me personally, I'm gonna do any and everything I can to prevent stretch marks. And the moment I found out I was pregnant, I started using creams and oils all over my legs, my boobs, my belly, everywhere to prevent stretch marks. If I get them in the end, it's completely okay. I mean, I'm creating a whole new life. So it's completely okay if I do get stretch marks, but I'm gonna do everything I can to try to prevent them in the meantime. So I did pick up this right here. This is the Whipped Argan Oil by Josie Moran. I love this so much. I did get the unscented version of this, mainly because during your first trimester, your sense of smell is very heightened. So anything that had fragrance to it, I could not use. I mean, I haven't even worn perfume almost my whole pregnancy. I even had to switch to a deodorant that was unscented. There was just a lot of things I had to stop using during my first trimester, and that I really haven't gone back to. I probably will after I give birth, but for now, a lot of things that I use are unscented. This is really good. It's very thick, it's creamy, it moisturizes my belly unlike anything I've ever tried. And again, it doesn't have a scent, so I don't know what I'm going, because I'd probably gag, but unscented is best. As you can see, I put a pretty big dent in this one. This one is my second jar. And then another thing that I really started to use was the bio oil. And as you can see, I haven't used much of this. A little bit of this stuff goes a very, very long way. And for me personally, it's very, very scented. So I just mix in a little bit of this into the body butter, and it really just gets the job done. It moisturizes everything. And so far, so good. I don't have any stretch marks, so I'll definitely have to keep you guys updated on that. I did talk about this last product in the get ready with me portion of the video, but that's pretty much gum. As you can see, this one's like almost empty. I eat them all day, every day. It really helps keep my nausea at bay. I think it's like the peppermint in here or the fresh mint, whatever it is, but works wonders. Your taste buds are different when you're pregnant, so trust me, if nausea is kicking you in the ass, try chewing some gum throughout the day. Maybe it will help you out. But that is pretty much it for my chit chat get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my first trimester, my symptoms, my cravings, and essentials. If you guys have any essentials, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments, so that way you guys can help out future mothers or current mothers or anyone experiencing this in their first trimester. So I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces. I can't get up anymore because of my belly. Oh my God.